Okay, here's a short video explaining how to install your new shelves. So, first thing you're going to do when you open up your package is take note of what you have. You should have your shelf or shelves and your hardware. So the first thing you do is you take your shelf and you separate it into two pieces. The skinny portion is the mounting portion, and that's the part that we'll be working with first. Sometimes it's a little bit tight, but that's normal. It's a good thing. Just be patient, wiggle it side to side, and it will come out. So then what you do is you take that skinny portion, making sure that you know which side is up and which side is down, which you can tell by there's a small mounting hole on the main portion of the shelves underneath with a pre-drilled hole. So just make sure you know which side is up, which side is down. Set it against the wall with a level, and take your drill bit, take your drill with a 1/8 inch drill bit, and what you want to do is you just want to go through each pre-drilled hole and make a mark on the wall. So all we want to do here is go through the hole that's already there in the mounting portion and just touch the wall. Make sure that you're drilling just enough to hit the wall so that you can see a hole when we remove the mounting portion. So this just lets us know where we're going to mount it and that it's going to be level. Okay, once you do that, take the level down, take the piece down, and now we want to make sure that each hole is going all the way through. Take your drill and your 1/8 inch drill bit and just pop it all the way through the drywall, and just take note of whether or not you hit a stud. So right here we're hitting a stud, which means there's wood behind the wall, and just remember where you hit wood. It doesn't matter whether or not you do, just remember whether or not you hit the wood. So here we're hitting a stud again, so there will be two holes where we hit studs. Just remember where those are. And now we install our drywall anchors. So we install the drywall anchors only in the holes that we didn't hit wood. So I did it a little bit of the hard way here, where I didn't make the drywall holes a little bit bigger, which I'll show you later in the video how to make this part easier, but it works either way. You just take the drywall anchors, set them in the hole, and you screw them in either with a screwdriver or a power drill. A power drill makes it a lot easier, and I highly recommend using one. But if you don't have one, that's fine. You just use a big screwdriver. Just be gentle because the drywall anchors are plastic. So screw them in, and just make sure that you don't screw them into the holes where you have studs, and that's all you need to remember for this portion. And one more. Again, I'll show you a way to make this part a little bit easier later in the video, but essentially you just make the hole a little bit bigger, and I skipped that step in this particular shelf, but either way works just fine. Okay, all of our drywall anchors are in. Now we want to mount the mounting portion of the shelf to the wall. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the included screws, and we're going to start to screw them into each hole. So what we want to do here is take the long screws that are included and just screw them in long enough to where they start to poke out on the other side. So all you want is for the screw to go through just enough that you can feel the very tip of the screw on the other side, and do this for each hole. So when you're done, you should have the mounting portion with a screw in each hole and just the tip of each screw sticking through the other side. And that's all you want to do for this part. Again, the holes for the mounting portion are already pre-drilled, so it goes in pretty simple, goes in pretty easy. Just stick the screw in and turn with either a screwdriver or a drill driver. And that's it. Now with the tips of each screw poking through. It'll be really easy to find out where the mounting portion sits. It'll feel like it locks into place, and there'll be no question whether or not your mounting portion is placed correctly. Now you just screw in the remainder distance for each screw. It's probably best that you start on one side and then don't go in a straight line. That way that you can mount you can mount the center, you can mount these last screws without having to hold it up. So if you mount each side first and then do the middle ones, that's probably a little bit easier. So get those in, and that's it. That's all you have to do there. It should be strong and secure against the wall. Now we just take our shelf and slide it on. What you'll notice, what I'm pointing at there, is there'll be a mark in between the two surfaces with a number. Just make sure those line up. That way you can be absolutely sure that it's going on correctly. You don't have it upside down. Just slide it on, and that's basically it. There's only one more step, and that is to install the set screw into the bottom. There is a pre-drilled hole that you can see. You'll take the tiny set screw that's included and screw it into the shelf, which I will show you how to do right now. Again, everything is pre-drilled, so it should go in relatively easy. Just use a regular screwdriver. And that's all you have to do. And that's it. The screw should sit flush, shouldn't stick out. Now I'm going to show you the better way to drill the holes for the drywall anchors. So the first thing, like before, you're going to do is you're going to go through with your 1/8 inch drill bit, and you're going to pop the holes through the drywall, taking note of where you hit studs. So I'm hitting a stud there, I'm not hitting a stud there, I'm hitting a stud there, I'm not hitting a stud there, and I'm not hitting a stud there. So now in the holes that I don't have studs, I'm going to take a slightly bigger drill bit, in this case 11/64. You can go a little bit bigger. 11/64 is what I'm using here. Just make the hole a little bit bigger, wiggle it around a little bit, just to make the job of getting the drywall anchor a little bit easier. Just be careful not to use too big of a drill bit. 11/64 is good. You can go a little bit bigger, and now I'll show you how it goes in just a little bit easier. So yep, easier that time. You just want to be patient with the drywall anchors. They will go in, but again, they're plastic, so just be gentle with them. Supposedly they don't even need holes. They're self-drilling, but it's enormously easier if you pre-drill a hole to make them go in smoother. And that's it. Enjoy. Contact me if you have any questions.